Do not miss your chance to blow. All right, now let's try that again from the top. All right. Mortal Kombat!
Let Mortal Kombat begin.
Yeah, see? There you go. How did that feel? Did you feel your Mortal Kombat intensifying?
That was... Yes. Mortal Kombat intensifies.
Then we have done our job. Mission accomplished, everyone. We did it. We did it. We did it, everyone. We made it. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank...
Mortal Kombat intensifies.
Oh, yes, it does. I'd like to thank...
Oh, Mortal Kombat. It has begun.
It has, though. I mean, that's the funniest thing about it. You know, it actually has, though. It has begun. That's a timeless performance, you know?
Some part of me wants to see a new Mortal Kombat movie. But I feel like the magic of the original was kind of an accident. You know what I mean?
You think so?
I mean, kind of. Yeah, it's such a product of its time.
It is. That it is.
That I feel like anything that we did, it's like, alright, it's like, you know how we had Tomb Raider in the 90s, right?
Do I?
And it's such a movie of its time. It's like...
You know, you're not lying. It actually is. It's so uncomfortably 90s.
It is. It's like, dear, that movie is from a world where if you're gonna have a female action hero, she's gotta be punching down repeatedly.
Yeah. You're not
You know what I mean? She can't just be a badass. She's gotta be surrounded by morons. Yeah. You know, you're unfortunately not too off base with that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
and that's just the time, man, product of its time. And at the time, it felt fresh. Oh my God, it's a female action hero. Look at her, she's shooting things. Oh yay! Oh man, all the men are so stupid, right? They're so dumb. Oh God.
You know, I was going to say something counter to that, but you're absolutely right in many regards. Yes. I was gonna say that, you know, there's an egregious amount of girl power set pieces, for lack of better terminology. There's a ton of girl power set pieces in that movie that specifically highlight her femininity and her badassery at the same time. Like, they're specifically calibrated for this purpose. Like, 1 minute she's doing like graceful flips in her living room, and then the next thing you know, they're trying to break into the giant glass box in the middle of her house holding the secret artifact, and then she has to be a badass, and then she's running on walls shooting people in the face. You know? Then she drives a Jeep and jumps into a cave, flips, hits the grappling hook at the right time, swings into the cave, stops, and then her hair's in her face, so she has to go the... It's like, all right.
Yes.
But if not anything else, that movie did give us Daniel Craig using an American accent so convincing. I thought Daniel Craig was American until I saw him in
playing a nincompoop,
playing
a
nincompoop American, to the point that I judged Daniel Craig as a person based on this performance. I was like, geez, this
Yes.
guy's not memorable. And then he came back in a bunch of really cool things, and I was like, oh, okay, he's Bond. He is Bond.
He's Bond.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like,
Well,
holy shit, that was Daniel
you know,
Craig. Like now that he's amazing,
Yeah.
it's one of those moments.
Like, mhm. So, like, that movie was very much of its time, such that when they remade it, I was like, I don't know that you're gonna capture the magic.
But do you need to capture the magic in 2019? I'd wager that Lara Croft as a character has had a serious overhaul in terms of her optics. I mean, she's always been, all right, so there's a gulf of people, right? There are people on two sides of a fence, I feel, when it comes to the Tomb Raider franchise at present. And it's people who really like the direction that the new Lara Croft has taken. Her portrayal as a character, the reduction of her more ridiculous proportions, which I do not take umbrage with for very specific reasons, not related to the male gaze or sexism. I feel like it's deeper. It's a little bit deeper than that. But people just like the new Lara Croft because it kind of redefines the character and kind of removes her from any discussion about stigmas and, you know what I mean, questionable portrayals. And it crafts this well-rounded character born out of a shit ton of pain and suffering to become the character that we know from the 90s games. And then there's other people.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna go for the other people. Just give me a second. And then there's the
Go
other
on.
side who are like, well, there was nothing wrong with Lara Croft before. You know, she was ambiguous and mysterious, and it's still smart, capable, worldly. Spent a decent amount of time saving the other people in her games, including some of the men, you know, fighting on her own, being a badass, being a traveler, you know, being adept and more capable than even she likes to let on at first, not because she feels she has to, but to keep her enemies on the defensive and always throw them off guard from their own assumptions. Like, she's still a well-rounded character back in the day. So, like, in regards to that, the new Tomb Raider, I feel, being a movie in current year, didn't so much have to capture the cheesy magic of an obvious 90s iconography, and instead, it kind of had to live up to, well, current year standards of
I'm showing a
the
fallen
portrayal of
containment
female
cell inbound near our current position.
media. You know, she kind of had to be a lot like the new Lara Croft in-game, which may or may not work for you, like taking Tomb Raider a little bit more seriously in movie form. Because I never got the impression that the new movie was trying to be cheesy. It looked like it was genuinely trying to portray, you know, the new Lara Croft in live action. Whereas the original just leaned in heavily on the camp, which a lot of video game movies did back then.
Yeah.
They were extremely campy. Some movies it works, like Mortal Kombat. Other movies it does not, like Street Fighter. But Street Fighter is transcendent. But, you know, making Street Fighter campy didn't exactly
Street Fighter
work.
is just...
You know, if it weren't for Van Damme's incomprehensible accent and Raul Julia's unbelievably committed performance, I think a lot of Street Fighter probably wouldn't have worked. It would have gone the route of Double Dragon and just been forgotten.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. What camp would you say you fall in?
Well, unfortunately, I see both sides. You know, like, I don't really think that Lara Croft, that there was anything wrong with her. Except for her unusual proportions, which, if you'll remember, even in the second edition of that movie, whatever it was called, Cradle of
Oh, where they shrank her bust
Cradle of
and
Life.
didn't have to wear the padded bra in the second one, and her boobs took a noticeable downturn.
Yeah, it was Angelina Jolie was just like, you know what? I don't think this is needed, and they pretty much just didn't. Because in the first one, she was wearing like a. Those things were
She
not
had some
hers.
nice padding
She was
going
just
on
wearing
there.
padded
Very appropriate.
something. And the second one, she just decided not to do
Which
that.
is a shame because disservice to the character. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Disservice to the proportions of the character. Okay. Who says you can't go, dear? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that you can't be an adventurer and have boo? Are you trying to say that you cannot rock climb and perform feats of acrobatic dexterity if you have boobs? Are you trying to say, dear, that because you have boobs that you are disqualified from doing Lara Croft things? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what
Okay,
I'm saying.
okay, then
I'm saying that
Mm-hmm.
since the actress playing the character didn't have boobs, is this character defined by her cup size?
It's one of her defining characteristics. Okay, like her ponytail. You wouldn't.
Really?
Yes, it is. Listen. All right, and this is.
Okay, then why are they not triangles then?
Because the only reason they are triangles is because graphics back then.
You can join me in orbit anytime you want.
Yes. Okay. Look, because graphics, hon. Listen, we did not have modern conveniences such as
Looks like a hot
tessellation,
containment cell's about to drop out of orbit.
and FSAA and MXAA and all of the new anti-aliasing solutions that we have now. So unfortunately, on the PlayStation 1, her boobs are kind of triangle-y. All right, but that's not intentional. Okay, on the front of the box, they're not triangles. Okay.
All right. So, was her character really about the boobs? If her character was about the boobs, then her character has no right to exist because it's an
Okay,
anachronism.
all right. This is the weird thing, and this is why I remember there was a wonderful Twitter thread that echoed these same sentiments, and to its credit, thank God, a woman was writing it, so nobody jumped down her throat and shat on her for saying this stuff, even though a couple of people absolutely did, you know, because Twitter's gonna Twitter. But the point being, Lara Croft as a character was never heavily sexualized in the game. Her portrayal outside of the game was largely down to Eidos's marketing team. Okay, and the designers, artists, and even the creator of the franchise had no say in how Eidos chose to market the character. In fact, after the release of Tomb Raider 2, he left the company because he was tired. He was kind of fed up with not having control over this kind of thing, and he was sick of them. Like, you know, and if you remember the advertisements, they were just ridiculous. They have not aged well at all. They haven't aged well at all. You know, showing her in a towel and everything you ever wanted in a sequel, but still no nude code. Oh yuck, oh yuck. Like, this was not the choice of the design team, and her proportions were very deliberately made the way they were, because her character was so strong that sure, you could salivate over her if you wanted to, but it wasn't the point of the character. Now, I would submit that heroes having exaggerated proportions is nothing new in, you know, fictional works, fictional stories. When you see Duke Nukem with his outrageous ass muscles and his outrageous personality and his outrageous, you don't think anything of it. So I don't see the difference.
I do think something of that.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't see the difference between male characters having ridiculously exaggerated figures and nobody bats an eyelash, and then when you do it to a female character, we have to have discussions about male gaze and sexism and her being all about her assets, when it's like, it's not really just that. It's the fact that I don't see why we can't have both. When the game Dragon's Crown came out, there was no shortage of op-eds.
Well,
Wait. There was no shortage of
okay.
op-eds about the sorceress
Okay.
character having really big boobs, and about the Amazon woman being really muscular and having huge legs. And a lot of those op-eds were shut down in the comments, honestly, by people saying the same thing. Have you seen the artwork for this game? Everybody is exaggerated. This is not exclusive to the women. Look at the dwarf. Look at the warrior. Look at the knight. Everybody has huge bodies, huge, muscular, ripped, crazy bodies. So how are you going to single out the female characters when this is clearly the art style? So
Okay, a
so
couple of
why
things
can't
on that.
she have
So
exaggerated proportions, having come out in the 90s?
okay, so a couple of things there. The first is men do not have a history of being objectified in media.
I think we have a history of being objectified, and it's okay because we're men. I mean, we don't. Have you ever seen Top Gun? Have you ever seen Conan? How about the first Terminator movie? Wasn't Arnold
those are
naked?
Power fantasy.
Terminator's a power fantasy.
Yeah, that was a power fantasy. Yeah. So I think when you're talking about nudity and bodies and media, the bodies of women and the bodies of men are not treated the same way. Right? When you show a woman, usually it's a sexual situation.
Lara Croft isn't
When you
portrayed
show
that
a
way.
man, you're cutting me off.
Because I know what you're saying, but Lara Croft isn't portrayed that way. In game, she's not portrayed that way. So why can't she have the body she has
Well, I'm not
and the character she
saying-
has at the same time?
I'm not saying that she is portrayed that way, but you just said earlier that in the marketing campaign she was treated
Okay.
differently.
Yes.
So in the game, maybe it's different, but as a whole, her character was
No, I
sexualized.
wouldn't say that. I can see what you mean, but again, as she's portrayed in game has nothing to do with the marketing, because anything is marketed in a ridiculous way. If you're gonna let the marketing for the character, which I mean, at the end of the day, unfortunately, marketing is doing what marketing is supposed to do, and get eyeballs on something
Right.
and get people to buy it. The fact of the matter is that her character, top to bottom, is not sexualized in game. Her sexuality is not used as part of. It's not a part. She's not Bayonetta. You know what I mean? Her sexuality never comes into question in game. There are not unlockable bikinis
Right.
for her to wear in game. Her portrayal in game, top to bottom, is respectful to the character. You know, marketing be damned, and what stands taller, the marketing used to sell the product or the product? Because I gotta tell you, you know, Terminator Genesis' commercial
Well,
compared to the movie we saw are on two different wavelengths.
they are, but what I'm saying is, unfortunately, the game is not an independent.
But,
It's not. It doesn't stand outside of how the character was perceived. Because
but I
of
mean,
the
if
marketing.
people, okay, so then Jessica, how do you change the perception if you're going to lean into, well, traditionally people have done this, so we can never change our minds in this regard? Because again, I mean, it's like people that are like, I'm black, so that just the world is just against me, and that'll never change because I'm black. You know, the world is against me. No,
I'm
what I'm
not
saying, so
Not saying it can't change.
can it?
I'm saying that as that character existed up until a certain point, her sexuality may not have been a part of the game. But, I mean, as you said, everyone associated the big boobs with the character.
well, because
right?
it's part of her character design. I mean, any more than, like I said, the ponytail, the backpack, the boobs. Yes, it's part of her character. It's part of her character design. It's what makes her recognizable, just like, you know, again, the ridiculous proportions of anyone. But what I'm trying to say is, if you treat every female character with large breasts, regardless of how she's portrayed, like they are sexualized or going to be sexualized, how can you ever make a character with a large chest and have people take her seriously? It's like the articles about on Soul Calibur about Ivy, and about, oh, this isn't realistic, and she's just her boobs and nothing more, and this isn't cool, and we need to reduce her bust size. Remember all of that when Soul Calibur was about to come out? I couldn't identify with her because my chest was never that big. It's like, well, yeah, but some
Well,
women.
that's about somebody feeling inadequate. That's not about the characters, how the character is actually portrayed as a whole. Someone is saying, well, I don't feel like this character is representative of me. Well, that's fine. This character isn't supposed to represent every single person on the planet. This character is supposed to represent this very specific person.
Yes, but she also.
That's not the same
it is.
thing.
I feel like it is because she took umbrage with the fact. She took umbrage with her proportions. She took umbrage with her personality, like the dominatrix style personality that she had, and said it in no way related to the character, which is erroneous and false. You can tell she's never beaten a Soul Calibur game. She genuinely thinks that Ivy's dominatrix power fantasy isn't an intrinsic part of her character. She took umbrage with every part of the character that she could perceive as sexualized because she didn't identify with it. And it's like, okay, so how can we have a character like this and have her be respected and be respectable if just the fact that she has ridiculous proportions is all you're going to focus on?
I think those are two different situations.
Okay.
And join me in orbit.
Okay.
I think those are two separate situations because Lara Croft
didn't need a bust reduction.
is, as you said, Lara. No, but the whole of her character was different, right? So for that character to be exactly the same in terms of proportion and completely different in every other way would have, I don't know, I think it was a good choice to make her more realistic because they made her a whole other thing. They made her, as you said, they made her someone who was born from this kind of really, she went through this trauma and they made her into a whole, they made her into a whole other kind of character.
Again.
No, she didn't need a breast reduction to be taken seriously, but to keep the huge boobs and change everything else about the character would not make sense.
Okay, well, it's not just it's not just not to divert it away from the proportions issue, but it's I'm not saying that the entirety of her redesign is down to her bust size. I mean, there's other things like the fact that she became who she was through a shit ton of pain and strife and struggle and, nearly being raped and all of this other stuff in the game that fundamentally changes her character. But what I'm saying is, like, I would not have taken her any less seriously because I understand that, again, she's more than just the proportions. I mean, even as far as her old design, I think all of that hoo-ha probably stopped after Tomb Raider 3. Like all of the ridiculously sexualized advertisements and all of it, that kind of stopped around Tomb Raider 3. So like Last Revelation, even when they redesigned her the first time, when Crystal Dynamics took over and they redesigned her for Tomb Raider Legend and Underworld and the remake of Part 1, they did redesign her, and again, they definitely streamlined it and made her look more realistic, but she was still, proportionally who she was. They didn't feel like they needed to do it, and I think I can admire that level of confidence because it's like, this is the character, and this is just the way they look. And the less you get of that, I feel, the less you'll see of it because people will be afraid to do that. I love that Bayonetta has been embraced for what she is because, of course, there were people screeching about that when it came out, and it's like, how can you do that? How? She has complete agency. Like, let her be this character. Because if she can't be this character, then how can you expect, Like I said, if we can be power fantasies, again, if we can be idealistic power fantasies as men, I would love to see the same thing for women, no matter what their bodies look like. I don't think the immediate assumption should be that we should take her less seriously. Just because she has large hips.
Nope, no, that's definitely not what should happen.
That's all I was really, saying. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I like the new Tomb Raider games. I do. But, it's also very much a product of its time, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. It just makes one think a little bit.
I mean, I'm just saying that if you're going to completely rebuild this character,
Yeah, and she's younger, so it makes sense.
it makes sense. And she's younger,
So it makes sense.
right?
And Tomb Raider.
That probably would have been kind of pervy to have a teenager with these giant boobs.
I wouldn't.
Not that it's unusual for teenagers to have giant boobs, and not that having boobs should automatically mean that they're, that the person is being sexualized. But it definitely would have been harder to make the argument that she's not being sexualized. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I wish it's those people that I wish you could just change their minds, because I think, oh, we're doing the adept version. You should have picked the 920 version, boo boo. That's why I made a big. It's all right. We can still do this. But that's why I made a big deal out of the barrier mods and everything. The regular version doesn't have those enemies in it. Yeah, so I mean, we can still do this. There's also a arc burny thing going on, so you can take advantage of that. But no, what I was saying was, I just think I just would like the perception of the character to be, as such. She is more than her proportions. Because the responses to that thread were so weird and alarming. I just found it extremely strange. I was like, why? Like, I feel like you were just fixated on her figure, like all these people were, and they were like, oh yeah, sure. And everybody that tried to discredit her kept putting pictures up of the advertisements, and it was like, yeah, guys, it was the 90s, and that's unfortunately the way we marketed female characters back then. But to say that, say that she was less valuable or any less trailblazing simply because of that is just kind of weird. And I don't think it was born, and I think the immediate assumption that a character made like that is born of the male gaze and sexism.
I think they're trying to contain the Red Legion.
No, I mean, I don't know that she's, less impactful because of it. But I will say that, as you said, the telltale concessions of the time are there in the character,
But I just love to inform people that this was not in the intent of the designers. So to attribute that to the people that made it is false. Like, the creator of the character left the company because he was sick of them doing that to her. I think that says a lot about the intent behind the design of the character. It's not unusual to look at the cover of, like, Heavy Metal and see a huge boobed warrior goddess.
Yeah.
But, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We gotta find the middle ground there. We gotta find it.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna make the Heavy Metal example, that was designed for men.
Again, I don't want it to be an unusual sight. Okay, there are plenty of, and again, I mean, you can say it's a power fantasy if you want to. As much as it is, I guarantee you, women are drooling. I was a subject to my mother in the 90s being very inappropriate when seeing a naked Arnold or Denzel Washington on screen in a movie. Okay, and you can say what you want about his character and the way his character was out there. At the end of the day, a naked dude was on the screen, and the opposite sex was like, woo! I'm serious, hun. Like, literally, the scene in the Terminator when he lands and he's walking up to the bikers from the gas station?
Yeah.
He would, like, pause it and put it in slow motion, like, frame by frame, until the lights shine just so you could see his wiener, and it was there. You could see Arnold's wiener if you pause it. It's the right frame.
You
see?
could?
Yes. His wiener is in the frame. It's there for a brief second, but somebody at the MPAA did not catch it. And Arnold's wiener is in the movie. I seen it. And you could say he's a power fantasy all you want, but somebody was drooling.
I suggest you deal with the drills.
Traumatized.
When the shooting stops.
The shooting.
I mean, at least it was his wiener in the 80s,
You
not
poor
his wiener
child.
now, so, but still, okay, Arnold's wiener is in that movie. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Now,
Like freeze framing it.
seriously, like strategic pausing, and I'm pretty sure like we had our VCR fixed so many times, and I'm pretty sure it was because of the rampant pausing and slow motioning, wreaking havoc on our poor heads.
Guardian down.
What the?
Our poor heads. Had to use the VHS head cleaner. We should have gotten stock in it. Oh, oops. It's rough out there in them streets. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Again, I see the argument from both sides. I do. And it's a good one to have. Back on topic, I haven't seen the new Tomb Raider movie, but I do know that they very much took the character seriously. So, you go both ways, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Alicia Vikander she's a great actress, and she definitely trained up for the role, because she looked like a freaking badass on the poster and in the footage I saw. So, I can always appreciate when someone trains for the role and does the thing. I'm looking at you, Ruby Rose. Get some damn martial arts training. Some muscle on them bones.
Or some
Get some
kind of
muscle on
training.
them bones,
Stealing
okay?
from the Vex. Why didn't that happen
I'm just
to the Red
saying.
Legion?
Batman is not the suit.
Calculating Red Legion's similarity to the Cade 6.
Neither should Batwoman.
0.0001%. Plus,
You know, we gotta compensate by being highly skilled. She's portrayed as a
You
highly
are
skilled
both depressing
character.
and unhealthy.
I want to see that.
Mhm. Right. I mean, I read she got injured while filming.
I did hear that. I
Yeah.
hope that did not happen because of, I hope it was not related to flexibility or, again, training and or performance. Because if it was, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. I saw Ruby Rose fighting John Wick. Alright? I know what she's capable of. Take advantage of this physical performer. She just has to be a bat person, and you gotta do the thing when you're a bat person. Alright? You think George Clooney trained for Batman and Robin? No, that was a cartoon. He wasn't Batman.
He didn't?
He was not Batman. He was George Clooney in a Batman suit. I mean,
Yeah, that's
even
what
Val Kilmer took a second to lay out some pathos, some bathos. He tried a little bit to be Bruce Wayne. George Clooney was just George Clooney in the Batman suit.
He was. That was the most phoned-in performance I've ever seen him.
Execute.
Right?
Yeah, you know it, I know it, even he knows it. Even he knows it, to this day. He'll admit it. He's far enough away from it now.
Cause I've seen him do really good work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he was clearly there, you know. I don't want to say he was there to pick up a paycheck, because that just sounds mean, but I feel like he was clearly there, you know, for his star power and nothing more.
Yeah, he was fresh off ER, and you know they were like, "Yeah, you want to be Batman?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." That
And
was
then when
really
he asked what his motivation and everything else was going to be, Joel Schumacher was just like, how do you feel about bat nipples?
What about bat
As
butt?
Clooney's heart
How you feel
sank
about
into
that?
his chest and he realized, oh no. Kind of like Bill Murray when he
Uh.
signed on to Garfield because he thought it was written by the Coen brothers.
He thought it was the Coen
and it was
brothers.
unfortunately a different Coen brothers. Yeah. That's why you should always read your scripts before you accept the big jobs. Especially ones that have a sequel clause.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like he bungled that top to bottom.
Poor Bill
Oh
Murray.
yeah, because Bill Murray infamously does not do sequels to things either, making it all the more baffling that he took this job. It's like, you didn't see
Yeah.
the sequel clause? Oh, Bill, you card. I mean, that's why Ghostbusters took so long.
What
'Cause
happened?
he doesn't like to do sequels.
Yeah.
And after doing Ghostbusters 2, his experience was apparently so bad that he was like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. And the contracts, such as they are, is that all 4 of them have to sign off on it, or they don't do anything with the franchise.
Oh, I see. That's why it's taken so long to do anything else.
So that means that Bill Murray had to approve Ghostbusters 2016.
Damn. I'm surprised he did.
There's a very unconvincing clip of him online saying, "I did it because I knew these girls were funny." He's like, "Alright, Bill. How much did they offer you?"
What?
I mean, they are funny,
Well,
but that's not the reason. But that's not the reason
funny.
he took it. It's like, come on, Bill. Yeah, they are funny, but that's not the reason you did this movie. Like, what happened, Bill? You were the chosen one.
I don't know. Oh no, he escaped. Ah, man.
Oh, were you fighting a boss?
Yeah, it was fighting the wanted enemy.
Industry's weird here, especially Hollywood.
Hollywood is very weird.
Extraordinarily. Oh no, I gotta run out of here. They're killing me.
Yeah.
They want to make movies out of so many properties related to video games that... I mean, aside from the groundswell, there's like a certain number of games that are being adapted, and it's like, I mean, is it worth it? Like, at the end of the day, is it worth it?
I guess it depends.
Metal Gear Solid's getting a movie soon. It's like, do you want to do... Can you do that justice? A game that normally takes like 20-something odd hours to tell its story. Can you condense that into an hour-and-a-half long film? Should you? And then how do you do it? Metal Gear is notoriously campy and self-referential and meta. Can you do that in the live-action format and still have it, be a serious production?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean...
To its infinite credit, it's being directed by the guy who did Kong Skull Island, and he is an obvious avid gamer and a talented filmmaker at that. So I actually am really happy if anyone it's him, because, infamously he built Kong Skull Island on the premise of Shadow of the Colossus, like the portrayal of Kong in that movie is based on Shadow of the Colossus. So I'm like, alright, he's got some skin in the game. Shadow of the Colossus, alright, good reference. I give credit where it's due. Definitely due there, well deserved. Yeah, I don't know, I wonder.
Yeah. Didn't he also direct Arrival?
Wasn't that Denis Villeneuve? The same guy that directed Blade Runner 2049?
Actually, yes, you're right.
Yeah. I hope I pronounced that right. I know I probably butchered it, but it's way better because I think when the movie came out, I was like, Denis Villeneuve? So,
It's switching guns.
at least I'm a little bit closer now than I was when Arrival came out. What? I told you my Renda's Vouch story. Listen, okay? Not everything is down to phonetic.
Your Renda's
Yeah, when I was like in 3rd grade, and my teacher bafflingly put that as the bonus word on the spelling bee, on the spelling test, and I was like, really? All right, let me sound this out. Oh wait, that's not it. Oops. I'm mad too, because I was like, I had it and she cheated me. Like I genuinely felt slighted. And like there was a vile injustice being perpetrated at my expense. And my mom was like, really? Okay. What does this word say? Like she looked it up in the dictionary and she was like, what does this word say? And I was like, Renda's Vouch. She said, nope. Look at the pronunciation. And I was like, how was I supposed to know that? I'm 8. I'm 8. That's not fair. I demand a recount.
Won us an entire field of this war. I would say you deserve a rest, but we need you elsewhere.
Heathens.
Something tells me that suits you just fine.
What? Oh, I love it. Tonight's expert playlist has landed on some very interesting discussions. Very nice.
Yes.
That's what we do here. We bounce between the topics while shooting the things.
Mm-hmm. That was quite
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Further than any debate would ever go. You know, we're not trying to get a soundbite here. We're trying to parse these ideas. So. First on our actual itinerary, if I recall, it is where are we in Destiny right now? Now, where are we in this fine game, Shadowkeep?
Yeah.
Did we finish the main campaign? I feel like we kind of did.
We kind of did, yeah. Now we gotta do a bunch of little things. And the next thing would be the raid.
Oh, we gotta hit the Black Garden.
The Black Garden.
Alright. Because the moon looks like a hotbed of activity. We've got all these nightmare hunts. Also, these nightmare hunts have powerful gear attached to them.
Ooh. I think I got a quest of some sort.
And then Era's got this weekly thing called Luna's Calling, where, what does it say? Complete the memory pursuit for Eris to find mementos of her lost fire team, which I find intriguing. Also, the Vex Offensive.
The Vex Offensive.
Pretty sure all the weapons and gear from that is like... Pretty sure all of that stuff is, it's got lore attached to it.
Alright, so let's see.
What? Alright.
If we go to the moon, which is still haunted, by the way.
It really is. Eris has like an entire TED talk going on. Like, there are so many of those phantoms. I'm just like, jeez. I'm sorry, Eris. It's like I said in today's Instagram post. I'm like, I feel like I'm playing a weird, twisted version of like Shadow of the Colossus. Like, the more nightmares we took out, the more remnants started to surround Eris.
I know, poor Eris. She
is just torment personified.
She just kept getting... Yeah. I mean... 1 second. She is full of sorrow, you know, and she lost everyone. And she lost her light.
Yes.
Hello? Did you hear me?
Yes. I don't know what I'm supposed to...
Okay.
Did you want me to follow up with something? Oh.
She lost her light. She lost everything. But we do have these nightmare hunts, and we do have these very specific memory pursuits, which will give us some powerful gear.
So you want to get down on that?
Yeah. Although I'm not sure what, like, Okay,
Well,
let me look at
I
the
did
quest.
mention us doing some nightmare hunts today in today's post, so if you do want to do one or two of those, we can definitely get down on that. I've slotted up on my Dreambane armor. I mean, it is repeat stuff, but
Oh,
I
okay.
honestly don't mind. You know, as long as it's moon things. I'm kind of curious about the whole, what is that thing called? Whatever, that decoder ring we got from the Moon cereal box. The lectern of enchantment or something like that. It's something.
Yes.
What? What did I say now? What have I done?
The lectern of
I think that's what it's
enchantment.
called. What?
Alright, so let's go to the moon and then let's do you wanna go you wanna see Eris first and then go to the nightmare hunts, or do you wanna just go
No,
straight
let's
to the
totally
nightmare?
see Eris first, because the lectern thing have very nightmare specific objectives attached to them, so that works. That
Okay.
actually works. Okay, oh, and before we hit the sack, okay, the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hunt down a wanted enemy. We're not gonna leave that engram on the table, okay, because that is the single engram, dear. It's a single engram that can get you Lord of Wolves. And it is a travesty.
I have Lord of Wolves.
Okay, anyway, it is a travesty that I still do not have this weapon. Ain't nobody talking about you? Oh, you
Oh,
have it.
okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess it's not worth it. You know what? You know what?
You know, Zer had it. That's how I got it.
You're gonna keep rubbing that in my face until the day we crab. Okay, alright. Alright. See, I see where tonight's episode is going. About to equip my best dance. Alright, prepare your neck.
So I just got this risk reward quest. Is that for the risk runner?
What's the risk reward quest? Describe it
so
to me.
I got this.
There's a quest from Banshee that I've had since the freaking expansion started that I never got around to doing. You have to like... Oh, yeah, here it is. It's a pain and gain. Yeah, that's it. I've had that quest since Shadowkeep began, and I have not done it yet. It's new. You have it too? You have pain and gain, right? Or at least that's the step I'm in.
I think so.
Yeah, you have to go to the Cosmodrome and find parts.
Yes.
Yeah, can you believe I've never done that?
Yes, I have.
It's crazy.
Yes.
I've just been putting it off. I never got around to it. It's weird.
Oh, but this is what it is. It's pain and gain. It's called risk reward. Select the risk reward mission on Earth to search the Cosmodrome and complete your new weapon.
I don't know. You want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, when do you want to do it? You want to do it now, or you want to do the moon things? Up to you. Ooh, a phantasmal core. Ooh. What does that do? I don't know. Oh, I know what a phantasmal core is.
It gives
Yeah,
you...
it lets you do these weapon things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Defeat nightmares and nightmare hunts? Yas. Defeat nightmares across the solar system? Yas, queen. Defeat them with solar damage? Sure. Orbs of light? Why not? And I don't have enough space for anything else. Good God. They really gotta fix that.
Man.
I mean, to think that there's such a thing as walking around with too many bounties.
That seems to be
I also
a
have this
thing.
quest where I was... Oh, you know what? One thing I actually... we have this quest where you have to... You have to do
All this
3...
time they've been closer than we.
Oh wow, talking to Eris gives you a
First
cutscene.
the pyramid
Hold
on the
I'm
moon.
gonna be quiet for this.
Yeah.
Talk to her. She's being tormented as we speak.
All this time, they've been closer than we even knew. First, the pyramid on the moon. Now, a team of guardians finds remnants of their presence in the Black Garden. Upon this discovery, the artifact came to life. From it, we received another vile attempt at manipulation. They show us only what they want us to see, as if we're to act the part of puppets and nothing more.
Yeah, kinda.
Any further communication they send, we must discard. The moment we let them turn our gaze from the truth is the moment we lose.
And I love how ambiguous this is. You know, I'm gonna take a massive bleep if it turns out that, you know, the darkness is the good guy.
Imagine? That's
Oh,
crazy.
Lord, pleased to meet you. Yeah, I mean that would bug me out, you know, because you know everybody's very specifically vague when they talk about finding the truth and listening to the blur. I'm just like, you have a point.
There's an argument to be made there. I mean, we pretty much murdered Oryx's entire family.
We did. In fact, we seem to do a lot of murdering. In fact, as has been previously noted, we seem to follow sword logic we seem to adhere to sword logic pretty strictly. Yeah. That's a thing. It's a thing that we do.
Yeah, we become stronger by defeating things that are stronger than us. But yeah, that's sword logic.
Always be prepared.
I think, like any god whose benevolence is worth questioning, the existence of the fallen in the state that they're in really brings to light some questions about how much the Traveler takes care of its wards, so to speak. You know, like, what state would humanity be in? Oh, there's lore down here. I'm going to shoulder on top of it so you can see it. You see the shoulders? Yeah, you know, it makes me wonder what state humanity would be in had Rasputin not shot it out of the sky. You know, I love that theory so much. It's the only thing that makes sense. Had Rasputin not shot the Traveler in the butt.
I really like that theory.
You know, what would humanity be? Would we be a bunch of scraggly, you know, poor, unfortunate souls?
Yeah.
Sucking on ether?
Man.
Oh,
jeez.
Sorry.
Alright, so we're gonna do some things on the moon, and then we're gonna do the Banshee quest. Let's do some things on the moon.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, so we have, well, among other things, if you want to get down on this, I don't know if you picked up this bounty, but wait, let me check my bounties before I open my craw. Okay, so we have to loot chests in 3 of the moon's lost sectors. K1 Communion, K1 Logistics, and K1 Crew Quarters. I don't know about you, but I have 1 hour left on this bounty. So, if you want to kick cheeks and blitz some lost sectors real quick, I feel like that timer is just about accurate.
Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna find these lost sectors. All right, so there is, where are we? There is one right by the Anchor of Light.
Yes. So
let's go for that one first.
From the scuttlebutts I've heard, the scuttle cheeks.
Excuse
me, I've heard that K1 Logistics is found in Archer's Line. K1 Communion is what is it? K1 Communion is somewhere near the Anchor of Light as well. And K1 Revelation, I have no idea. So
is it the one that's near Sorrow's Harbor? There's only 3.
Wow. You are absolutely right. Well then.
Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna do them all because
Archer's Line?
yeah, there are no other Archer's Line.
Hey, you. Yeah. Good gravy. All right, check this out. All right, you ready? You ready? Oh. Hey. Oh, you missed that. Oh my God. And you're going the wrong way. That's
Oh,
what
I
you
am.
get
Okay.
for ignoring my gangster. Ugh, I can't believe it. I did something cool. I always miss the cool stuff. Yes.
You did?
I always do something cool. See? Look at that. Oh. You see that? You see it? Notice me, Senpai. Notice me.
Oh, wow.
Did you instance out?
No. I was trying to do a trick, but I just jumped out of the thing.
Do you remember how to do tricks with it?
No.
It's directions on the D-pad when you're in midair.
Come, Slayer of Orcs.
Okay.
I have
Oh no,
words
it's
for
Toland.
you.
Toland, not now. I'm sorry. There are sectors to be lost. Woo! For anyone else, that would have been a broken neck. For me, it was only Monday.
It was only Monday.
Ouch!
Is this
I'm
it?
sorry, they blew up my they blew up my sparrow. That was very rude.
There are too many of them. We'll never even make a dent.
Wait, do you shoot arc bullets from your guns? Can you shoot me with those? Thank you. Wait, come back here. Where are you? There you are.
Okay, we're not super close to where we need to be.
We're not? Because I feel like it's this way.
Yeah. We need to... Oh yeah, actually there's one that way too.
Why do you not trust me? You turned her against me. Yeah, all that. You have done so yourself. Yeah, all that. That Hayden Christensen line delivery though. Delicious. Delicious ham. The other white meat.
You've done that yourself. Okay, it's not this way.
There's a treasure chest back here though.
Above this area.
You need some helium filibusters.
Sure.
Some helium files. Okay, so it looks like it's just past this structure, so maybe it's in this thing over to the left, because I've never seen this before. Yeah, see the I'm just gonna follow the freaking phantoms. Just gonna follow this trail of fears. Just out here on the trail of fears, am I right? You get it? Fears? Because they're nightmare. Just,
Okay, alright. Cool.
you know what? You play this game on PS4, you would appreciate the heck out of me. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, because people don't talk on the PlayStation 4. Well,
At
not
all?
if you play with randoms, you know.
Oh,
jeez.
well, here we are. KI Logistics.
Remember when Fallen were synonymous with tripwires? It's happening
Yes.
again. Alright, I'm gonna run through it, dear. Wish me luck. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a flying knee, and I'm gonna fly straight through it, and I'm going to... Yah yeet!
You died, huh?
You know, I had what I felt was the perfect plan. I felt like it was foolproof, actually, because like there was an enemy behind the tripwires.
Guardian down.
Oh no!
And my shoulder charge restores my health when I do it. So I thought, hey, I'll just restore my health, and then the tripwire damage won't hurt me. and I kind of blew up anyway. So didn't exactly work as intended. Like a Bethesda game or Anthem.
Oh, that's terrible.
Or Anthem. Today's Gymquisition is about Anthem, by the way. Oh, yeah,
really?
I mean, if there's any.
What could there possibly have to?
Oh, it's a post-mortem.
What could there possibly be left to be?
It's a post-mortem
okay.
because I know some conventional wisdom would say, isn't it a bit too soon for a post-mortem? But I don't think it is when you're talking about Anthem, you know?
No, it's not too soon at all. In fact, it's kind of late.
Yeah, like once they gave up their road, once they discarded the roadmap, I think that was like the final. I feel like that was the final nail in the coffin for it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a pretty hysterical post-mortem. If slightly misinformed, unfortunately. He states in the article, like many people have tried to assume, that it was Patrick Soderlund's mandate that BioWare use Frostbite, when in fact it was BioWare themselves that decided to use Frostbite on their own. I mean, yes, there was a company-wide push to use Frostbite, but BioWare actually chose it from the beginning. Holy eyeball.
Yeah, we have to kill this thing over
Kelnick's
here, I bet.
Reborn? Yes! I did it!
Oh, you found the masterwork?
Is that what that said? No,
Yeah.
it said masterwork objective complete, but thank you for playing. Yeah, I finished the master.
Okay, what does
I
that
finished
mean?
the masterwork on the Risk Runner.
Ooh.
Yes, okay, so what is the benefit? It has obscene range now. Okay, I'll take it. It has really high range now.
Nice.
So now I can hit a Nightmare Shank from across the street. Actually, the range on it is pretty ridiculous. Where were you in Iron Banner when I needed you? This is actually working out really well because the Fallen use arc weapons. So I'm actually encouraging these dregs to continue shooting me because it's just hilarious. Oh,
Okay.
got a revelation. It's not just a game. It's not just a game. Remind me to show you that sometime so I can properly contextualize this random song. It's the greatest game that never existed. A Kickstarter project that absolutely should have been. Would have revolutionized gaming as we know it today had it been allowed to come out. What? Seriously, we'd be playing games in 4D live had that game come out. 4D! This game is only 3D. Can you imagine playing a game in 4 dimensions?
Oh. I don't know that exists. Because it's not real.
Exactly. The world wasn't ready for Revelation. And it wasn't just a game. It's not just a game. It's not just a game. It's not just a game.
Alright. So, let's see. What do we have next? We have... There's a... one right between Archer's Line and Anchor of Light. Do you see it?
I do. So, wait. What? Between Archer's Line and Anchor of Light? Okay, so that's...
yeah, you see it?
I was just gonna say... So that's probably in the Hellmouth.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
what do you think? That's kind of what it looks like, right?
Yeah, it looks like toward the hell. Yeah, that's
So maybe
true.
it's in that little crag in the Hellmouth. You want to head there next? Or you want to head to Sorrow's Harbor? Because right next to the fast travel point, it looks like the Lost Sector's right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
let's
then
go
from
over
there, we can just transition easily over to, you know, the Mouth of Hell.
The Mouth of Hell.
You know. Alright, so K1 Communion has been nailed. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Tesauros Harbor.
Ah.
It's like right there in the middle. I mean, why not?
Mhm.
We did. What did we do? We did. Well, actually, wait a minute. Which one did we just do? It looks like we did what? K1 Communion. It looks like K1 Communion. This.
No, we
Yes.
did K1 Logistics.
We did.
Mhm.
Are you sure?
That's what it says. I'm looking at the bounty, and it says we just did K1 Logistics.
That's okay. I'm only asking because I can see I can highlight and see K1 Communion on the map now, and the game usually doesn't do that unless you finish that lost sector.
Oh.
So I don't know if maybe I did it on my own. Who the freak knows? All right, whatever.
Maybe.
Whatever. All right. Probably did it when it wasn't a quest. All right, so onward to Sorrow's
yeah.
Harbor. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like it's directly in the middle. Which way are we pointed? Kind of. Oh, yay! Nightmares.
Yeah.
Nightmares on the moon.
Oh, awesome.
Stop it! Stop it! Let it out! I'm not playing with you today. 2 grenades for that man. He's dead. I'm not even gonna look back because I know he's dead. Not even gonna look back. Yep. Plant 2 grenades at his feet.
Yep, he's definitely dead.
Alright, let's check this map again.
Alright.
Alright. Looks like it's just a few more feet away.
We're right, yeah,
Right
we're
in the
like
middle
right
of Scraggle Crag. Up, there's the symbol.
Oh, Scraggle Crag!
Scraggle Crag. Uh-oh. Follow this green light. I love this linear fusion rifle. What y'all know about this weapon? What do y'all know about this weapon I'm holding right now?
Oh. Is it in here? It's in here.
Y'all know anything about this weapon I'm holding right now?
What are you
I'm holding
right
the
now?
weapon right now. Okay, you see this linear fusion rifle? This is not just any linear fusion rifle, okay? This linear fusion rifle is so deep. It's so deep. Okay? It is so deep that you'd have to check it in inspections just to see how significant it is. Did you leave me?
I just went inside. What were you doing?
I was lightly encouraging you to look at my weapon.
Okay, I'll look at it right after.
Elbows for all. Let me introduce you to my Lord and Savior. Elbows. Ooh, that breaks down.
Oh, this is a cool lost sector. Man, they've really evolved.
I love these lost sectors, by the by. Yeah, they're pretty awesome, I gotta say. Oh, why would that Shrieker drop heavy ammo? You're over a pit.
Oh no!
I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want you want to institute the curse of Gabriel early? Why would you do that? I was reviving you. Trying to get me to chase that heavy ammo into a pit. I feel like I need to use something interesting. What am I not using? There's some arrows there. There's the fighting lion. Use the fighting lion. There's always Yotun. Love me some Yotun. Bows for everybody. Bows for everybody in attendance.
I mean, I feel like a bad guy right now.
See? I feel like these Hive were just minding their own business and then came these Guardians.
Yeah, they were down here minding their own business, and here I am. Using a rifle to
I mean,
kill
they
the
are building castles out of the most evil of Legos.
That's true.
That dropkick gives me so much life. I swear. Coming for you, Charles. Come here.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that is a tormented servant nightmare. That's a loaded statement. Listen, I'm determined to make this gun live up to its name. It's called the Merciless. Okay. Who's Hail Marrying those things?
I don't know.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Someone's like, yeah.
Uh-oh, he's about to get the drop kick.
Gonna hit you with one of these somehow.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm coming for him. He's not ready. Here it comes. Have you ever done it to a servitor? It's hilarious. They tumble off into the distance like bowling balls. Hell, I've done a finisher on a cursed thrall. It does not, as you may assume, kill you. Because during the finisher, the finisher, you kick the thrall away and then it flies back and explodes. It's unbelievably awesome. Oh, this knight's about to get it. Don't you dare heal. Oh no. He turned into a fireball. Tiger knee! Oh no, oops. Excuse me. I tried. One thing I will say, I do like that if you whiff the knee, you keep the charge. It's not the same way with the headbutt. What's up with these crystals?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the headbutt, if you miss, you lose it. Okay, I just destroyed a crystal. Not sure.
Yeah, there's
not
a
sure what
couple
that
of
did.
them.
Let me destroy this up. Oh, speaking of destroying crystals, you remember the gauntlets, the hunter gauntlets I got yesterday? I said I was gonna test them out and see what was up with them. How they let you hold your draw indefinitely.
Yeah.
Dear. That thing is a beast. And it is specifically a beast with Le Monarch. Remember how I was like, I wonder how this affects Le Monarch. It affected it in just the way I thought it would. Yes.
Really?
Okay, so Le Monarch's special perk is if you draw back your arrow with specific timing, the arrow will become a poison arrow that disperses a cloud of poison on your enemies, right? And if you get a precision shot, it causes an explosion. But dear, those gauntlets eliminate the need for timing. You can just knock a poison arrow indefinitely. Yes. No matter when you fire it, it will be a poison arrow if you're wearing those gauntlets. I was like, oh, this is busted. I don't need to time these arrows anymore, and I can hold them indefinitely. Oh. R.I.P. to everyone in this Iron Banner. And so it was, that everyone was hit in the face with poison arrows. Yeah, so now the hunter carries Le Monarch, not the Titan, unfortunately. It has been passed on. It has been passed on to another character.
Well, you know what else is broken?
What up, Del?
Apparently. The Telesto.
How's the Telesto broken? What? I mean, the Telesto, I feel, was already... The Telesto was broke before, and they had to fix it. What happened now?
Well, you know how, when you shoot those little wells, and if you get a kill with the little wells, it refills your super.
Yeah?
Well, apparently, people figured out that if you threw a grenade into the little wells, it would count as a kill, and it would just give you a full super bar.
So you could fire them at the ground and then throw a grenade at them? Wow. Yep. Holy. Okay, yeah, wow, that's busted.
So the Telesto is
oh my god. You know, it's
insufficient. Fatal wall fragments.
Okay, so no,
okay.
All right. The reason we're doing all of this is because the reward for it is a firewall data fragment. And unfortunately, hun, this lost sector did not count towards our goal.
Okay, so we need to do the other one first.
No, not even first. We have to do another one, period. I don't think this was part of it. What is it? This is called K1 Revelation. Yeah, K1 Revelation isn't on this list. This is K1 Revelation. It's not just a game. I knew there was a reason I was singing that in here. That's weird. That invaded my subconscious.
I don't even know what this is.
Okay, so we're in K1 Revelation. We need to hit K1 Communion and K1 Crew Quarters. Let's all right. We can pivot back. Anchor of Light and the Hellmouth have what we need. So I say let's fast travel back to the point in Sorrow's Harbor. Head for the Hellmouth. Blitz that creature. Right? And then just head over to Crew Quarters. The wonderful thing about bounties is that even when they expire from a time standpoint, they don't truly leave your inventory until you go to orbit. So we have time. We don't have to, we can chill. We can appreciate. We can drink it in and appreciate it. Because the only way I'll lose the objective is, if we go to orbit. So I feel like we're good. We're good in that regard. Oh my god, they're going to destroy my Sparrow. Yep. Damn it all. Where's that thing at? I just saw it. See, hun? It's not just a game.
I don't even know what you're singing. That's really what I was saying. I don't know this song.
Is anyone there?
Trust me.
Come in.
Trust me.
I can't do it.
When you hear it,
I can't fight another high.
you will never unhear it.
Alright, so from here, we need to go to the one near the Hellmouth.
Yeah, so we should be heading, well, in the direction I'm pointed, actually. This path here is what leads to the Hellmouth. I'm just shooting some hive along the way. I don't know if you picked up the bounty from Eris, but one of them is due to patrols on the moon. So I'm just kind of two birds, one stone.
Okay.
Two birds, one stone. It's a very popular internet meme. Don't ask what the birds do. It's a nightmare thrall. Remember when we were 800 and these dudes were terrifying?
Yeah.
So, the Merciless is weird. I'm still trying to figure out how this works. Defeat nightmares to unseal. Nah, unseal these... Excuse me. Alright.
Hey, Glimmer, yay.
Okay. How dare you. Alright, bows from downtown. Okay.
Do nightmares count? Okay.
Nightmares are people too. Hey. Just because they exist as a physical manifestation of our traumas does not mean they are any less valid than anything else we've fought. Okay? Oh no, you're down. I'll revive. Or I won't. I
It just brought me back when this thing ended.
I think it's... Wait, let me just double check the map. Yep, it's this way. Ready? Now let's leave that ogre alone. I'm good on that. I picked up some lore back there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about reading lore when we get it? You think that would contribute
I
positively
like reading
to the proceedings, or you think that would slow our momentum down?
That's a great question. I mean, I like it.
Wow, it's a Vex.
I think I went the wrong way.
Oh, I'm in the helmet. I just need a second to get my bearings. What the fuck? Wow, this is so nostalgic. I recognize this place and I don't at the same time. It's wonderful. Let's see. Oh, okay, so it's definitely this way. Oh, look, it's Toland.
Oh, Toland.
Wow, look at that pit. Oh my gosh, it's the pit that leads into Crota's lair. Oh my god. Oh wow, there's a nightmare over there too. Wait, what is it? It's Nightmare of Jax, Claw of Xivu Arath. Ooh.
Claw of Xivu
That's what it
Arath.
says.
Wow.
It is the claw of one of the three. Look at that.
Wow, that... I don't even know what that's doing here. To be honest. Because we've never encountered Xivu Arath.
Well, you know, we never encountered Savathun, but we definitely got enough chunks of her beforehand. Maybe we were getting prepped for it. Maybe gonna have some Xivu Arath action at some point in the future, since the Sisters of Oryx are apparently unknown, not deceased. I didn't know they were still alive until you told me.
Yeah,
I thought
no,
they were dead.
They're alive. No, Savathun is definitely still alive. In fact, the whole thing in the Dreaming City is happening
It
because
was
of
because
her.
of Riven.
The whole Shattered Throne. Because of Riven and Savathun. Yeah.
Do tell. Okay. Still this way. Trying to parse this crevasse. Man, y'all done effed up the moon. I'm so disappointed in y'all. Jesus. I thought the moon looked bad the last time we were here. It's like, no, hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's like, alright, thanks, guys. You have to prove me wrong. Oh. This is Zenobia.
Is it down there?
This is a very interesting rocket launcher. Yeah, sorry. I was just checking my weapons. Definitely down here, though. I don't know what a ransack servitor is, but I'll get back to that. Excuse me.
So I thought it was this way. It's not this way?
I mean, I'm following this beacon. It's in that little chode-shaped section of the map. Look like a little chode just sticking out of the side. Right, I'm not a fan of what you're doing. You just stop. Receipts! Boot! See what I mean? The servitor just kind of bowling balls its way.
Jeez.
I will spare no opportunity to deploy finishers. Did you pick up Banshee's bounties? One of them was trace rifles, the other one was scout rifles, and the other one's kinetic weapons. You get any of those while we're tracing out here?
Not yet.
I got mine. What reason is there not to use it?
So...
You don't have a scout rifle on you?
My ghost. Where's my ghost?
I'm using a scout rifle.
Oh, so you might have that one. And the other one's a linear, sorry, not trace rifle, a linear fusion rifle is the other one. Alright, it's definitely this way. You got a linear fusion rifle on you? Crooked Fang, XR, Arbalest.
Oh yeah, I do.
Any of those count. Dead Ender if you're a badass like me.
In here?
It's a trace rifle. No, this way. It's a trace rifle called Dead Ender. It's a dead orbit linear fusion rifle. I got it during
Oh,
faction
nice.
rallies.
Oh, nice.
I had that, this new Monarchy scout rifle that my hunters had since, you know, year 1. And a pistol from Future War Cult that shoots explosive bullets. I know, these hoes ain't loyal, but I have 3 characters. So technically, I'm kind of loyal. I feel like I shouldn't jump down there.
No, that looks like
It kind of
death.
does, right? It's. I was gonna say, is it just me or does that look
Yeah.
like death? All right, good. Just confirming.
Yeah. Maybe it's...
Thank you for confirming my biases.
Yep, here we go. K1 Dino? That,
K1
Quest?
crew quarters. How the heck did you
K1.
read that? Oh wow.
something like Dino.
What? DNA? Dino DNA.
I don't know.
Like, there's no dino. Just me and my broadsword. Boop. Oh no, I ran out. Help. I told him to stop. Oh, dear. Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you for that. The welcome wagon.
I heard
for us.
them.
Yeah, they're coming, clearly. Look at this place. Wow. Can I just... This is
This
a
is
moon
nuts.
cavern. What? How deeply into the crust? How unstable is this planet? That's really sad about the Celestos, though, by the way. I actually... When I had the fusion rifle objective, I actually went to my collections to pull it out and was baffled that I couldn't, and now I know why. So,
Yeah,
I haven't used a
they,
Celesto in a while.
They took it out of the game.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be back. They do that from time to time, like when a weapon needs nerfs. Because I remember in
Yeah.
Destiny 1, when they were fixing Lord of Wolves, because it was apparently way too powerful when it debuted. What was that called? House of Wolves. When it debuted, it was a little bit too much. You could still hold the weapon, but it was grayed out in your inventory. Like, you couldn't equip it. You couldn't do anything with it. The same thing, oddly enough, the first week, I don't know if it was just me, but the same thing happened to Ariana's Vow. For like, I don't know what happened. I didn't look it up. Maybe I should. For a day, I couldn't use the gun. Couldn't figure out why. Either. It was just I couldn't equip it.
It must have been something weird with it.
Yeah, I was getting like instant headshots in the Crucible. Oh, do the finisher! Oh! Very nice. Very nice. Flying tip though. I love that palm though. That palm is so good.
Yeah. The palm
Reminds
is
me
cool.
of Hitman. Makes me feel like Donnie Yen.
It does.
Oh, sorry. Alright. And Tiger! Nightmare of Reyx. Oh, I remember Reyx, I think. Oh no, you're gone. Yep, say goodbye to your cheeks. Yep. Boots! What did I miss? Fallen Shank.
What?
That was a really fun, kind of multi-layered, multifaceted strike that I enjoyed. You remember Fallen Shank when you have to like go into one of Rasputin's little cubby holes and root out this patchwork shank that's been drawing power from him? It's like, oh, Rasputin's letting us in. You know, you hear the classical music playing, and I gotta say, there were some genuinely memorable parts in Destiny 1. Alright, so our next objective, I believe, lies in the Anchor of Light. Now, it should be what, K1 Communion?
Yeah, it's right by. Yeah, it's right by the Anchor of Light.
So I say we head there. You know, I think it was probably easier to get there from Sanctuary, so you want to just pop back there?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Mhm.
And then that is our last one.
Oh, you know what? I see it on my map too. I think we did it by accident or something.
Yeah, like maybe we did it before. You know what? We probably did when we were running around the moon trying to do those bounties.
Yeah, before we got
like
the
when
quest.
we were getting the Dreambane boots and all of that jazz. That's probably when we did it.
Yeah.
All right, we are the consensus. I love it. I love it when we all get along. Let me see if there's another bounty I can pick up from Eris.
Welcome, my friend.
Even if it's a random bounty. I don't know how to do this Luna's thing that she wants us to do. I'm like, I mean, I guess. Illuminated
Take
orb. Left waning. Whatever those mean. I love...
Oh, you have to. I have a bounty and expires in 36 minutes. It says complete the weekly replayable story mission on the moon.
That gets you pinnacle gear. You want to do it? I don't mind. But we have to do it after this lost sector, because technically starting that mission might count as leaving orbit. So we should probably do the lost sector first.
Yeah.
Generate orbs of light. Defeat Hive in the Hellmouth. Damn it. I feel like I did that. Whatever. Jerks. Complete public events on them. Oh, public events, not patrols. I feel like a boob. Alright. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's head this way. Into the Anchor we go.
Tell me your
I am not telling you any tales, Eris. Okay. Kind of weird.
Yeah. Just a little bit odd.
Okay. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank.
We're heading towards the K1 Communion, which is at the Anchor of Light.
Thank you. Right, this way.
Okay.
So we're keeping an eye out for a, well, I mean, we can see exactly where it is, so what the heck. What the heck. Alright, map check. Map check 1212. Yeah. So I think if we keep going north, maybe towards the Temple of Scrota.
Yeah, Scrota.
What? Oh, is that what you heard? Sick mind, yeah.
Yep. Oh man, I'm loading.
I'll hold them off!
Probably these phantoms.
Is this what Six Fronts was like? Wave after wave of four-armed monsters.
I am loading. Man, I cannot stop. Oh, there we go.
That's always fun for me in the middle of a strike because you're like suspended in midair. You have no idea what to do with yourself, and you're just like, well, okay. You know what? Yes, we absolutely did. We absolutely did. Because remember, this is where we fought that nightmare that was too powerful for us. And then after it disappeared, we ran into the cave it came from. And that was the lost sector. So I know exactly where that is. Yeah,
indeed.
That's the backstory. Yep. It's the deep lore. Knees. Wait, who else wants this hot fire? This electric hot fire. Who wants this? Hey, do you think we could beat that nightmare now?
Electric
I don't know about you, but I'm a beast.
Maybe.
You know, we're both beasts. We're no longer in our 800 pants. Alright, let's see. What's the best things I'm carrying right now? Let's get some Ariana's Vow in here. Let's get some Criminal's Dagger. Yeah, I need some Criminal's Dagger up in this piece. And, 21% Delirium because Fallen Arc shields. ETC.
Hmm.
Are you? You probably ran ahead of me while I was doing that, didn't you?
I'm just standing in
As
front of the
you
cave.
do. This is the goofiest emote.
Alright, you ready?
Can't you see I'm throwing a tantrum? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, it's not there anymore. Huh. Funny that. Oh, alright.
Hmm. Interesting.
Well, maybe it's there at certain times of the day. Maybe
Or
there's
may-
only one significant nightmare per...
Maybe.
Like maybe that one in front of the Hellmouth is today's nightmare. Who knows? Who knows? I can't
Yeah,
believe all
maybe.
of this is a lost sector. Like, wait, stop for a second. Before we engage those things, turn around. Look at this. Look at the skiff from here. I mean, I know that skiffs are huge, but good God, look at that. Look at how big that is. You ever seen one on the ground before?
This is not all a lost sector.
Oh no, you're right. We're still in the Anchor of Light. We made a wrong left turn at Albuquerque. Let's go back up there.
Yeah, we did.
I think we just went through the cave. We didn't take the right turn. And there's a bunch of thrall up here now.
Yeah. Was this it?
Why there's a bunch of thrall up here? What the fuck? Get away from me. Call me crazy, but if there's a bunch of thrall here, does that mean that... Oh, there's a fissure knight. I thought the nightmare might have appeared after all, but
Yeah.
no, it's a fissure knight, whatever that means. You know what's so funny? Because Ariana's vow is has fires armor-piercing rounds, you know it goes through knight's shields, right?
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least it wasn't a total loss. Alright, so. Albuquerque.
Right.
Wait. I'm actually... It says I'm turned in the wrong direction, actually. Maybe it's inside this building. We did run around this thing for a little bit before we found the entrance, didn't we? I think you found the entrance, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I was dorking around outside, and you're the one that actually found it. Oh, wait. Maybe it's under here. Maybe the door is under here.
Oh, maybe,
Yep.
yes, perhaps.
Yep. Yep.
Oh. Okay, yeah, this looks right. Okay.
Man, I remember that to a T. You always find the things. Oh god, I'm loading. And now you're loading. And momentum.
Oh, jeez. Loading. Okay, move.
K1 communion.
Yes, this is communion.
Mhm.
Alright.
Oh, 25,000 damage. Good gravy. Why did I put on Chrono's dagger? Does that make sense? That's 2 hand cannons. Remember me, Eddie? When I killed your brother. Feet boots. Finishers are truly
Alright.
the best thing to have happened to Destiny in quite some time.
Yes, definitely. The game has definitely seen some improvements.
And I'm
For
very
sure.
happy with my finisher in particular because
Finishers.
this mod gives me extra super energy upon finishers, which is, you know, that's so useful. So useful. Finishers restore melee abilities. This generates special ammo for the whole fire team. Oh no, I can't even equip that right now. Finishers restore grenades. That's actually not bad. I think I like that.
Yeah.
Might give this one a... How useful it... Yeah. I think I want that. That to me is a little bit better than finishers restore melee abilities because my helmet already does that.
Okay.
Now, if I'm a fire titan and I need my hammers back, that's actually pretty useful. When I do a wrong throw and my hammer disappears, that could be useful.
Okay.
Think about that, boo. Like you're an arc warlock, so your electrostatic punch to the face is definitely something you'd want to keep.
Oh yeah.
Level up.
Sure.
Somebody's about to get kneed in the face right now. Got him. Wow. That's 5 people. Boop. Remember when Joker said that Thunder Coil is the most ridiculous thing? This is what he meant. Because I'm using Thunder Coil. Yeah, it's one of the artifact buffs. Thunder Coil enhances every arc melee attack and also causes it to restore some super energy. And technically, Shoulder Charge is an arc melee attack. So I have a never-ending deluge of powered-up knees to deliver because of the helmet and the combination of the stuff. Synergy! Oh, the Shank's about to get... Oh. Alright, I see you.
Oh, geez,
I remember this too. Wasn't this the period of Shank? Lord Shanks?
Yeah.
Nightmare of Rizan, the Lost.
It was just the shanking.
It was, though. It was. Is it, oh, who's doing it? Is it the trees? It's like, no, it's the Shanks. It's the Shanks. Your dedication to supering every nightmare we encounter is admirable. Where did he go? There he is. There he is! Elbows!
Yeah, nice. Oh.
Excuse me. Pro tip for fighting lion.
Bless
If you've
you.
ever used fighting lion. Excuse me. Thank you again. I'm in the process of master twerking it. I know fighting lion's grenades tend to bounce, but if you hold down the trigger while it's in midair, when you let go of the trigger, you can do an early detonation. So you can actually control. Yeah, you can actually control when fighting lion's grenades explode.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good exotic. I feel like these masterworks kind of force you by proxy to learn.
All right.
We did it. Lunar Spelunker.
Yes,
Sounds
we did it.
terrible. Like if somebody told you they were a moon spelunker, how would you look at them? How many eyebrows would you raise, on average?
I'd be like, I'll raise.
What are your hobbies? Oh, moon spelunking. What? Did you say you did what?
Well, just spelunk.
I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. Okay, so with those 3 having been done, we can hit this quest beast, blow, and we get a firewall data fragment. Now I have heard some scuttlebutt that says, remember that door we couldn't open? I think that's where you use it. I think we should
Okay.
look at your quests now. When you look at your quest when you redeem it, the description is opens the system core vault in the K1 Revelation Lost Sector. So, I think we should do that.
Oh, so we need to
heck
go
yeah,
over there.
'cause, you know,
Yes.
that Lost Sector is not a game. Alright? The song prophesies this.
Alright, so we can just fast travel to Soros.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Hun, I would send you the link, but I feel like I don't know if you should experience this alone. Like, I'm afraid that if I send this to you right now, you're just gonna be. I just don't know if you'll be able to handle it without me present. You know, it's not sure. I mean, I'll send it if you want, but I don't know if you're ready for Revelation.
If you trust me.
It's not just a game.
If you trust me, I guess.
Up to you.
Alright.
What's your rockets? Oh, Jeebus. Now look at you. Just popping all that good shit a second ago, and now you got kicked in your chest. What you know about the air feet works? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to get my Berger on there, but I don't think you can do a finisher on that nightmare, so.
No, you can't.
I almost got Froggy. I was this close. I was about to Drax.
Get my burger in. Drax some stunts.
I was, though. I don't like these Terrys on my moon. Lurking and twerking in the shadows. Doing all sorts of evil things. You see my hair? Looks like a hat right now.
I just.
Alright, into this hellhole.
Did you find the entrance?
Okay. It's a green cave.
And
I found what's a lost ghost trace?
What?
I got it from that treasure chest you just opened. It's called a lost ghost trace. What? It's a consumable. Wait. If it's a consumable, then it should be in my inventory. Let's see. What is this thing? Of unknown origin. Okay. I have a small rice cake. Alright. Don't know where that came from. And I have a lost ghost trace. Location pulse from a ghost. Present this to Eris to extract its last lone location on the moon.
Oh,
I had
wow.
no idea lost ghosts were back.
Yeah, oh man, Lost Ghosts is so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like to a point they were replaced by lore thingies, but yeah, I remember Lost Ghosts.
They were. I mean, if you they're not lost ghosts, but they're like you remember ghost stories? Those are cool. I like those.
Oh, that lore book in Taken King?
No, it's in Destiny 2.
Oh, wasn't that oh. You know what? I'm a boob. I'm getting better with this thing.
You find them and as that ghost in the Dreaming City. Usually.
It's gonna die. Oof, crisis averted. Oh wow. I think that's the first time I ever saw your sentient Arc Soul.
Yeah, it's kind of a badass.
Yes, it
isn't
totally interrupted your finisher too. I saw that. Can you teach that thing some respect? You were mid-finisher and this Arc Soul was like, nah, man, I got this.
Yeah.
A little presumptuous of you, little guy. For a little bit. So apparently the masterwork for the Fighting Lion is when you score a hit with this weapon, it buffs the damage of your primary and secondary weapons.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure how useful that is, but do you think that's worth it?
I mean, sure.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It says after this weapon fires, equipped kinetic and power weapons. All right, sorry about that. Excuse me. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. All right. Let me read this thing, you heathens. Kinetic and power weapons gain a brief period of increased handling and accuracy.
Okay.
It's a little bit unusual.
Sure. A little unusual and also very, subtle.
Yeah, well, Fighting Lion does only have one grenade in the tube, so I guess the assumption is that you're gonna fire it first and then switch to another weapon and, you know, finish the job. So in that case, I can see how that'd be useful, I think. Probably more in PvE. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, because fusion rifles only get 2 bullets in the Crucible. I don't know how many grenades you get in Fighting Lion, but something tells me not much more than that. Oh no, there's a nightmare.
Well, yeah, you only get 2, but the cool thing about
You can kill people for more.
special ammo, yeah, exactly, it kind of drops. It drops very quickly.
True that, true that.
And it's not like heavy that you're competing for it.
Well, yeah. Although I noticed in Iron Banner, we were like, if you looked at the specs for the conditions, one of them said ammo pool shared, which I didn't understand until we played it a little bit more. After someone picks up the heavy on your team, in 6 seconds the heavy comes back. So you don't get as much heavy, but you all have, like, at least 2 or 3 of you have a chance to pick it up every time, which is cool. That I appreciated. I was like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh man, I wonder what the heavy ammo pool is during Mayhem.
Oh my god, that's.
Because I know the cooldown on heavy ammo is damn near non-existent. It's like LOL.
And grenades. It's like Shax. It's like, did I throw enough grenades?
He said he was a nightmare. He never stood a chance. So there the expert penguin stood, and then he did the dance.
Okay.
No one respects fine art, I tell you.
Oh, fine art.
Yeah.
Ah! Whoops.
Did you not
I got
see me?
stuck
Did
in
you
a
not
corner
see me coincidencing in front of the nightmare over there? I'm coming for you. Boop.
I saw.
All right. Go. Why do you always treat me like I'm crazy then? What, that rhyme wasn't good enough? Look, ad-libbing, okay? I was ad-libbing. I'm always ad-libbing.
Yeah.
You hear that, Paul Feig? Cast me in your next movie. I've got the skills you clearly require.
What do we have to? We have to destroy.
Oh, I think
these,
destroying the crystals might
thingies?
free him from his slumber. So,
yeah.
let me stand directly underneath this thing while I shoot the crystals. That'll turn out well. I mean, in my experience, that traditionally is.
I think That's exactly
So
what you
totally a
should
good idea. Yeah, you know, I mean, you can't shoot crystals while in the company of
Where's the...
the greatest co-op partner ever. I mean, who can you shoot crystals with? We might have missed one. Or actually, there's one or two that's still shielded.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe there's something
Yeah,
still
there's
alive.
something alive over here, so I think I'm going to solve the mystery of this one. Oh no, there's a bunch of things still alive. No, the tormented servant nightmares are the ones keeping the crystals alive. These wizards.
Okay. Oh, I see, okay.
Not yesterday. Not then either. Hello. Welcome to my shoulder. Oof. That, he wished he hadn't spawned in. Oh, poor guy. Uh-oh. Did you just hear a roar?
And now, yeah.
I feel like I just heard a roar.
Alright, now he's out.
Because you let him out. Alright. Everything was fine until the container grid was shut off by Dickless here. Is this true? Yes, it is. This man has no dick. Glorious. Oh, did you kill the nightmare? Excelsior.
Yeah.
Excelsior. Oh my goodness, really? Because here are his friends. It's the Revenge Squad, dear. Yeah.
Damn.
Look, it's a wholesale on knees. Knees for everybody. Everything must go. All joints and kneecaps. Free. I think I got him.
You are all free. Okay.
Yep. You are all free now. Oh. Nice. Your deep cuts are the deepest. Shoutouts to Team Spooky. Was it this way?
This is it. I think we're going. Maybe.
I feel like we're leaving. Let's go back.
Yeah, no, we should go back.
This feels like we're leaving.
Yeah.
Call me a silly goose. All you want. But it feels like leaving. I think it might be in this tube right here. I think it's here. I think this is where we went.
Oh, yeah. Indeed.
Yep, I see remnants.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Here we go.
We can input the fragments.
Oh my
Can you
god.
input the fragments? Do I have to? Hey, I don't.
Oh. Oh.
Wait.
Fine.
Whoa.
What is this?
I
What
don't
are
know.
we
It
looking
looks
at?
like Five Nights at Freddy's. What is this thing? Look at this. It's the Jade Rabbit. Look, it's the Jade Rabbit. Dear
Oh my
Jessica,
god.
I can offer it a rice cake.
It says you lack
Yes,
something.
but I don't. It's giving me the option to offer it a rice cake. I'm gonna give it a rice cake, dear.
You should give it a rice cake.
Ah. Okay. I got
What did it
9
do?
phantasmal fragments for that. All right.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
look at this
so,
terminal.
We're gonna.
Does it say you lack something?
No. It says process biddable. Oh, and I just got. Let's see. What did I just get?
Because I'm getting the option to process firewall data fragments.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering.
So I just got. What? Okay, so I just got the memory of Saimota.
Huh.
I need to collect 20 necklace scraps by defeating nightmares on the moon with arc abilities.
Wow, that sounds
Alright.
like that's within your skill set.
And and I just got Essence of Jealousy. So
That's interesting. All right, well then let's process some data fragments. I'm about to. Before we do that, let's process. Oh, I got the cleansed essence of jealousy as well, and Saimota's broken necklace.
yeah.
Huh. The plot. It's thickening.
The plot thickens,
Necklace scraps.
yeah.
Arc abilities, huh? It's almost like they haven't been following us this entire time. And the essence of jealousy. Use the lectern of enchantment to infuse Eris's magic with nightmare essence and create a new piece of gear. Oh. So all we have to do is just go to Eris for this. Looks like a sword.
Yep. We just...
Yeah, it's already cleansed and everything.
Let us head to Earth.
Let us head to, well, did we completely poach this place? Oh, you're already gone. Well, just gonna check this little globe back here. Oh, wow, you totally missed this. There's a window behind the terminal, and if you look through it, you can see Earth from here.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like two remnants floating out there, but I can see Earth. Oh, that is chilling and beautiful at the same time. Wonderful. Okay, so we processed them fragments. All right. Thank you. Thank you. This is so much fun. I am excited.
That was fun.
I'm pretty excited. We ran those lost sectors like champions. And because there's clearly more than just 3, I bet we'll get one of those nifty little, evolving story beat type mechanisms.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let me use the app because I do not have room for a heavy right now in my inventory, and I'll be darned if the postmaster gets to touch this thing before I do. Let's see, what are we storing in the vault? What are we doing? We're gonna put this sword away, actually. Oh, why not?
I'm gonna put some stuff away.
Oh. Man, do I go to the lectern first or do I go to Eris first? Decisions.
I don't know.
Let's go to the lectern and see what's good. The lectern of enchantment rumbles with energy and provides you with gear to fight against the nightmares and the pyramid. Oh, and there it is.
Ooh. It's called Night Terror.
That it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? Let's make a phantasmal core just because. Well, I did get a fine memorial, even though that weapon is the freaking cheeks. It's like a Hammerhead Junior. It's pretty nice. But it's
To
void.
work. We must speak again of the hive.
Whoa. So she's got a lost dead ghost options in her now she's got a lost dead ghost portion of her menu.
Interesting.
I guess that's what you use the traces for. Find one in Archer's Line, World's Grave, Shrine of Oryx, Gatehouse, Dark Dreams. Huh. Together forever. For Way. I'm so intrigued. This doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense.
Man, this is nuts.
You know, I didn't expect the end game to expand like this, but here we are.
No, but I'm glad it did.
Very consistently engaging bunch. Thank you. We got this Ariana's thing. Ariana's crab.
You've done
But
well,
you know what,
I
hon?
can smell the
I'm under the
hatred of the
impression,
hive upon you.
Alright, I know we had like a final activity planned. I'm under the impression here that this memory thing applies to before reset. So, want to see how long it'll take to arc things in the face?
Sure.
Okay.
What is it
We need to just
do?
arc. We need to. Don't we need to just arc nightmares in the face? I mean, look. Search for scraps by defeating nightmares on the moon with arc abilities.
Ariana 3 was strongest, and the leader of our band.
Stronger enemies grant more
let's do
progress.
that.
Yeah, so hey, I'm down if you are. We can go to Sarah's Harbor and feck around there. I mean, there's plenty of nightmares, right? It doesn't say don't do nightmares on the moon. Or we could do one of the nightmare hunts. Those are full of nightmares.
Okay. So how about we do? I don't know. Ride?
A what?
Ride?
Sure. Omnigul? Oh no, Skolas, Kelakels. Yeah, let's do it.
Skolas. Okay.
Let's do it. All right, and let's do the harder tier. Let's do like the 9. Isn't there like a 920 tier? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, for that you will need your piercing and crabbing weapons, but don't worry, it has matchmaking, so we're gonna get a 3rd.
Okay. I just said I can't stay too late.
It's okay, but it does say that harder enemies give you more progress, so maybe we can do it in one run?
Okay.
Then with the Guardians.
Alright.
So let's try it. Oh wow, this Night Terror is an arc weapon too. Look at that.
Oh, that's
yeah, because
great.
these harder activities usually have that arc buff on them. This weapon looks nuts. It looks like a sword. It looks like a sword pickaxe. What is even? That's funny. Sword ammo granted for every other powered sword kill. Huh. Okay. And I'll be using greatly increased sword ammo at the cost of damage. Increased sword damage and ammo. Okay. This looks interesting. How much sword ammo do I lose? 8? That's okay. Yeah, I'd probably go tempered edge if because tempered edge only takes away 2 ammo, but you get more impact out of it. Enduring guard, I don't know. Guess that's for you if you want to decide between efficiency and defense. I think efficiency is how quickly you burn through your ammo. Well, let me switch to Ariana's and the Pluperfect. Did I use that upgrade module yet? No, I didn't. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I don't think I have.
Yeah, that was like my last one. I have cores, but I know I don't have enough to get another module. I kind of spent them all earlier. That's the price I paid, dear, for just ruthlessly fecking around with 3 characters. The good thing is, at least all of them have access to Banshee's bounties. Yeah, so technically, to get like 9 shards a day if I were truly sweaty. I'm not that sweaty though. I think I've only gotten 4 shards today. But someone somewhere is that sweaty, and bless their hearts.
Oh yeah.
Their hearts.
Sure.
We're gonna do this, dear. Don't worry. We got this. Do you feel like we got this?
I don't know. I've never done it, but sure.
That's a.
Oh wait, this is the same mission with the modifiers. But yes,
Exactly.
I think we
What
got
the
it.
heck? Doubt is the path to the dark side, boo. Alright, yeah. See the barrier knight? piercing weapons for those guys. I mean, you can see the icon. See, when the barrier pops up, that's when you specifically have to use it. People are not getting damaged. We got this, guys. We got this. Oh, that wasn't our teammate, was it? So I say prognosis, 10, 15 minutes. And then we can crab after that. We'll be back on the next crab episode. Jeebus!
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Thank you. Woo! Well, I'm out of all that ammo.
Whoa.
Yeah, be careful out there. I got you. That's why I usually roll with a bow that causes disruption, because at least, at the very least, disruption can lower their damage output. So we have a fighting chance against these crab people.
What?
Guardian down.
Remember, Boo, it's arc burn, so that wizard is going to eat cheeks. Good stuff. Finishers. Yeah! Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
F that nightmare. Oh yeah, crap. Let's not forget arc damage. Arc damage for the nightmares.
Yeah.
Forgot about that, sorry. That was a my bad moment. Okay, let me use this bow. There we go. Even though, I don't know, what do you think? Overload rounds from a bow or an auto rifle?
Auto rifle.
Are you thinking quantity over quality? I feel you.
Yes.
Alright. Auto rifle it is. A champion has appeared. Uh-oh. What kind?
Uh-oh, what kind of champion are we talking here?
I say that with a twinge of fear, personally. Oh, great. It's an unstoppable champion. It's usually an ogre. Yep, it's an unstoppable one. Back. Shit, what works on unstoppable? Oh, unstoppable hand cannons. Okay. Criminal's dagger, please. I have an unstoppable hand cannon.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah! Yeah, we're gonna die a lot. Do you have you have an unstoppable mod for your hand cannon, right?
I do.
It'd be good. That'll be good to stop that ogre, because it's the only thing that's stopping that ogre. Everything else kind of does middling damage to it.
Dropped my light considerably, but
Okay. I hear you.
Guardian down.
Okay, you were in that thing's face. That thing was like, "Hi, would you like a kiss? Can I get a kiss?" I said I'm about to go to war. I don't know if I'm a Who's this sensitive zip person, and why are they in this thing with us? Nobody asked you to kill that nightmare, you fucking goober! I'm trying to get some necklace scraps! I'm leaving him dead. I don't care if that's cruel. He deserves it. He meleeed that unstoppable dreg. It was a nightmare dreg. It was right in front of me. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. That's for Destiny 1. And every time we did this strike on Arc Burn. Thinking shank. Remember that? Remember this room? Getting hit with snipers and... Alright, dude, we're at the end. We all know about this Skolas business. Okay, so there's gonna be a shit ton of nightmares. I think this is probably where we can maximize the potential of this whole scrap collecting thing. Maybe. For your cheeks. I may just play as you. I hate feeling this. Maybe. Depending on how.
Oh, thank you, Ned.
Yeah, because I have no idea. Alright, let's run this way so we can get the joining allies. Because we're too close to the glass. Alright, we got this. Wow, hi, Death. Is that Death? Oh, Death, is that you?
Whoa.
Like they just teleported me right under Skolas' butt cheek. Oh man, I'm just kneeing these things in the face. Are you getting these scraps at the same time as me, or do you have to personally kill them?
I think I have to kill
yeah,
them.
this is gonna be a tough one. Alright. Yo, Skolas, knees! Ouch! Okay, he said elbows. Very nice. Point taken. All made. Alright, there's a couple of nightmares running around out there. Getting my Bergeron! Oh wow. Okay, that got me 2 scraps. 2 scraps! Oh no, I don't have my melees. My melees. Hello. Get back in the fight!
Okay.
I think it's something that Marcus would have said. Is that a Nightmare Vandal? No, it's not. It's a regular. Jesus. Now, does arc damage also mean arc weapons? Right? It doesn't have to be an arc ability, right? Just arc damage.
I think ability killers. Because...
You fired an arc bullet and the game was like, LOL. Try again, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if it was just arc damage, I probably would have done
because
it by
upon
now.
killing them, you should get the necklace almost immediately.
Guardian down.
Okay, I think I want the finisher that gives me back my melee ability. I think that's useful after all. Now that I'm sitting here waiting for my melee ability to recharge, it makes sense. Alright, that's a quick change. I might die changing it, but hey. Okay, where is it? There it is. Got it. Am I dead? I'm alive. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, that worked out. Wow, Skolas really knows how to use that Scorch Cannon, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Boop. Hey there.
Hello.
Just call me Mr. Hail Mary. That was terrifying. Just creeping around Skolas' ankle. Man, is this sensitive zip die like level 900 or what? Racking up those deaths. I haven't seen a nightmare in a while. How about you?
Nope.
Also, 10 out of 20 scraps. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I have none, so I don't know.
I know you're giving me that energy back, right? Give me my melee back. Oh, yep, that was a good choice. Someone killed my nightmare, because I did not get credit for that at all. Oh, he needs a finisher. He looks like he needs a finisher. Thank you. Okay, that is definitely a challenge. I think, do you have the claws?
Oh, I just got a rice cake.
Nice. Do you have the claws of Ahamkara? Okay, perfect. I might equip those when I play as you. They give you an additional melee charge. I may pull that out of your collections to help me do this. All right.
Okay.
How about that end game, though? And you did your first.
This end game is fire.
And you did your first 920 level mission. May there be more in the future. See, that wasn't that bad, right?
No, that was not terrible. Definitely could have been worse. So,
upon revelations, how did you feel about tonight on the moon?
That was fun. That's cool. I mean, I didn't think the end game was that deep, but it really is.
Well, you know, we've been bamboozled in the past. You know, it's very easy to approach the end game with a healthy bit of skepticism, I would say. I don't think you're wrong in approaching it with a healthy skepticism. You know, this is a first. This is a first for Bungie. They're forging out on their own, making the game they want to make, doing things they want to do, providing the content they want to provide, and I feel like so far we are definitely passing the smell test.
Yeah.
I am not at all dissatisfied.
I mean, now that I think about it, it's so funny. Like, the writing was on the wall, you know, when Activision came out and said that, you know, Destiny Forsaken had, like, disappointing sales.
They were like, we're disappointed in its performance or something like that, and it's like, what? This game that has rejuvenated the community and put people's faith back in Bungie? Or what metrics are you looking at? Because...
And sales.
Like, you know how hard it is to salvage a reputation? Look at BioWare right now. You think anybody believes that Anthem will ever recover? Bungie did that, and then some. Twice! Twice!
Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you remember, they actually scaled down the presence of Eververse in Forsaken, so they probably were looking for, you know, increased microtransactions, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, they had to do that, though. They had to. Test Avarice had become a meme. The fact that just about all of the new pieces of armor, ornaments, all of that was exclusive, like 80-90% of it was all Eververse. They had to wash the bad taste of Test Avarice out of the community's mouths. They had to. Because the Red War was like, what? What do you mean a third of this game is locked behind the Eververse? Like, do you remember? What was it? The new event had come. Remember when Festival of the Lost had come? The first Festival of the Lost of Destiny 2 was dishonorably dubbed Festival of the Cost because all of the rewarding content was gone. Anything that was worth half of a damn was locked behind the Eververse. Like, it was nothing like the last one where you were putting on masks and acting a fool. Like, you had to buy everything, and it was like, what? And they only gave you one haunted engram. Because, you know, the first taste is free. Like the Dark Ages of Destiny 2 were truly noir.
They were dark. So when they came out and they were like, we're actually proud of
That
Forsaken.
that rebellious Luke Smith tweet. Man, Luke Smith and his crazy beard. He's coming out like,
I mean,
I think we're proud of what we've accomplished here with the game. And we're going to continue giving you more of this.
yeah, I mean, I think when, you know, you have a partnership that's not aligned, I think it's clear that it has to go a different way, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did.
I mean, as much as I feel like I'm recognizing this as a Bungie pattern, it's definitely they definitely had different goals as far as their game was concerned, and I feel like the writing was on the wall because they practically innovated a new genre that apparently only they are good at. So navigating that and how it would be distributed, monetized, sold, has clearly been an ongoing project that endures to this day. Like, it's constantly a work in progress with everything they're doing. To their credit, they have made it work where no one else has been able to, I feel. Even The Division, as good as The Division is, it doesn't have that thing that keeps drawing us back to Destiny. It just doesn't have that thing. You know, it's a really good game, don't get me wrong. It's a really good, very well made game, but there's something about this. Something about Bungie that just makes this, you know, what it is. And good on them. So far, very pleased with Shadowkeep. And even this end game, because, you know, when Curse of Osiris was over, when Warmind was over, I infamously, like, what? And you know, and when those were over, they were over. Like, when they were done, it was like, all right, now back to all that stuff you were doing before. And I was like, huh? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Here, true to form, the end game feels like just the beginning. Give them a small golf clap to Bungie. And then with that golf clap, I think we conclude tonight's expert playlist. Thank you for watching. Episode 99 has concluded. 99. Do you know what that means?
Ooh, that means the next episode's gonna be 100.
Episode 100 is this Wednesday. Wooberries.
Oh, man.
Gotta do something. I gotta figure out, what was the first game we played on the expert playlist? We're gonna have to reminisce a little bit next week's episode. We're gonna have to get a little bit nostalgic. What was episode 1?
Was it Gears?
I want to say yes.
Or Halo?
I definitely.
No, it was Gears.
I think it was Gears. Because Halo, we recently finished Halo, so I don't think it was Halo. Yeah. Also, speaking of, hey, 343, can we get on this Reach remaster? Okay, we still left one Halo game on the table. We gotta get that out of here. That's like peak Bungie. That game is peak Bungie. Well, no, arguably Halo 3 is peak Bungie, but Halo Reach was dope. I don't care what anybody says. It was a good game. What an amazing story, fantastic soundtrack.
Nice.
Anyway. Thank you for watching. As always, you know who is going to hit you with this outro. Dear, hit him with the outro. Hit him.
Well, if you want to catch up with us, we're going to be on YouTube, on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, on the Instagrams, and especially on InfernalPenguins.com.
And as she said, okay, that Instagram.
Yep.
That Instagram, okay? Hit it. We got a new logo. We got our Polygonal Oswald. The new content is on the precipice. Listen. We say the things. We say the things that you didn't think of saying. If you liked it all, be sure to do all of those things. Subscribe to the things. Follow the things. Because we do this every Monday and Wednesday. And sometimes on Fridays. Depending on the hype levels.
Occasionally.
Sometimes. Once in a blue moon. But with all that said, I'm Expert Penguin. This is Her Infernal Majesty. We are out of here. Right? We're out of here. We're out of here. Just floating outside the moon.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Man. Endgame. This is the most engaging Endgame since Endgame. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's true.
You were ready to sneeze on that, but nope. Nope, you gotta agree. I see you. I see you over there, rubbing your palms like, yep. Time to debunk Expert Penguin. Nope, not today. Not today. Today, we agree.